I'm Myra Cepeda. I'm coming to you live in front of the Church of the Jesu inside the Ateneo de Manila University, where the Holy Mass commemorating the first death anniversary of the late President Benigno Noynoy Aquino III just occurred. It was a very solemn event. His family, his relatives, his friends, his former cabinet secretaries, his former government appointees, and their allies, all just came here together to remember Noynoy by. Many of them are wearing the color yellow, which is quite understandable. It is the color of protest that has been associated with the Aquinos, Noynoy's parents, the late democracy icons, Ninoy Aquino and Corazon Aquino, who were key opposition figures during the dictatorship of Ferdinand Marcos Sr. And that color has been carried on with the Liberal Party, which was a very popular party when Aquino became president. We saw his relatives here, his sisters here were almost complete, except, of course, for Chris Aquino, who is sick. But Balsi, Pinky, and Miel are here, as well as their children. At the end of the Mass, Balsi delivered a message of thanks to everyone who joined the Holy Mass, both physically and via Zoom and via the live stream. And she had a very sweet, message for her brother. She described Noynoy as a simple, honest, self-effacing, and decent Filipino who gave it his all when he was tasked to serve his bosses. At matatandaan natin nung Pangulo si Noynoy Aquino, ang tawag niya sa sambayan ng Pilipino ay boss. Lagi niya sinasabi na kayo ang boss ko at sineserbisyuhan niya ang sambayan ng Pilipino. I think one important thing to highlight as well is a general call here to keep continuing the fight, the values and the principles that Aquino's Daang Matuwid or anti-corruption drive, represented when he was president. In Balsi's message, she recalled one of the most iconic lines of Noynoy Aquino in his final sona, where he said that, the Filipino is worth fighting for. Actually, the exact quote is, the Filipino is worth dying for, the Filipino is worth living for, at idagdag ko lamang po, the Filipino is definitely worth fighting for. And that, of course, is Noynoy's own homage to his father, Ninoy, na alam natin ay nagpopularize ng linyang the Filipino is worth dying for. At similar din yung naging mensahe ni former Ateneo University President Jet Villarin dun sa kanyang homily ngayong umaga. Today is the solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ, and he related yung sacrifices ni Jesucristo at yung symbolisms ng Sacred Heart ni Jesus Christ doon sa mga paghihirap at sakripisyo at serbisyo ni Noynoy Aquino na inihandog sa sambayan ng Pilipino. So the homily is also, classic Jet Villarin homily, and it's a call to continue fighting for the principles and values that Noynoy represented as a leader of the Philippine nation. Now, the current Ateneo University President Bobby Yap also delivered a message after a Mass, and he said that the Benigno Simeon Aquino III Endowment Fund, which was started by Aquino's batchmates in the Ateneo and his friends after his death, has already raised some 50 million pesos that has been used to fund the Ateneo education of several university scholars here. Noynoy Aquino is a true blue Atenean. That means from grade school to college, siya ay isang Atenista. And very special din itong Church of the Jesu for him when he passed away last year, June 24, 2021, due to renal disease secondary to diabetes. Dito rin sa Jesu, ibinurol ng 3 araw, binuksan ng university sa sambayan ng Pilipino para they could pay their last respects to the late president. Noynoy Aquino will always be remembered as the Philippine leader who brought China to court and challenged Beijing's expansive claim over the West Philippine Sea. At nanalo siya sa arbitral ruling in 2016, a historic victory for the Philippines when the Hague Tribunal jumped down China's expansive claim and affirmed that the West Philippine Sea does belong to the Philippines. But of course, we know that Noynoy's successor and our now outgoing President Rodrigo Duterte downplayed that victory in favor of gaining more loans and grants from Beijing dahil nga nag-pivot si Duterte towards China. Anyway, back to Noynoy. He will also be remembered for his anti-governance drive, Daang Matuwid or the Straith Bath. Marami siyang mga kinalabang mga opisyales na for their various corruption issues, he also gained enemies because of this. He largely remained a very popular president until the end of his term, though of course his ratings started to dip after the Mama Sapano incident, where 44 elite cops from the SAF, died in a misencounter in Mama Sapano, Maguindanao. Meron ding mga criticism sa kanya when he didn't show up when the bodies of these elite cops were flown in from Maguindanao. But even then, Noynoy Aquino remained a popular president till he stepped down from office. When he became Citizen Noy again, that is a different story because many of the government propagandists and trolls dedicated the next 6 years attacking the reputation of Noynoy Aquino. And of course, Duterte himself fed onto the Dilawan negative branding. And one of the criticisms with Noynoy Aquino is that he allowed these lies to fester online, and in a way it also, tarnished his reputation until his death. And it's one of the things that opposition figures now are dealing with, that massive disinformation. But regardless of what they are saying online, the Aquino legacy, has been imprinted in Philippine history. He has greatly improved the Philippine economy when he left, and many have been comparing the way he handled the economy with his successor. And of course, his allies will continue celebrating the goods and the bads of the Aquino administration. That's all my update for you right now. Once again, I'm Mara Cepeda coming to you live from Quezon City.